would say the whole thing of this being a topic is so hypocritical and conflicting from so many ways. It was so many parallels um, and things within her conversation that doesn't make sense. The whole argument, the woman made sense, but just the whole standpoint of women and us having the whole 50-50 conversation. Again, first of all, I believe in when you're married, it's 100 like each person is contributing everything they can to the relationship financially, physically, energy wise, children, like both people are making sure everything is covered at all angles. And I think as a wife, if really marriage and family and the true definition of family, like you're gonna fill in the gaps. If your husband wants you to stay at home with the kids, that's what you're gonna do. If you have this amazing career and you guys have a family business, you might be the second in command with that business, or the head administrator, or running that business, being the face of that business, or whatever. If your career was started before you got married, you're going to contribute to the household financially. If you have this amazing career and your husband wants you to work because it works for the family, I think people need to get into the mindset of whatever is needed for the family is what needed for the family. And if you love a man, you love your husband, you're going to do what's required of the family, whether that's stepping up or stepping back, because that is a requirement for the family to function in a healthy way, in a way that works with less confusion. I think that's the best way to be. I think women should be palm trees, depending on the relationship and that man's career, and the taking care of that family. So that mindset of this 50-50, it should be 100-100. Whatever is required, you do it and you adjust to it and you make it work. As far as the opposite side of it, it's confusing because we're talking about modern day women with this mindset. How are you a modern day woman wanting to work and wanting to make your own money and always talking about we're the most educated, we make the most money, which is not true. And we make this and we do this and we're making all these strides in the workplace. But then when it comes to relationship, you want to stop working immediately and not utilize any of those skills that you're throwing in a man's face. You feel like he should take on all of the financial burden and you sit back and do what after you just bragged about having all of these degrees and working in corporate America and doing all this stuff and being an entrepreneur. Where is all that energy for your family? So it gets really confusing when people talk about by themselves, they want to be this boss, but then in a relationship, I don't want to do anything. I want to be taken care of. It's very weird. It's confusing to me, and I don't get it. And I'll land it there.
All right. Go ahead, Trev.
All right, cool. So, I mean, a lot of people got upset when Kayla Nicole dropped that, but that idea didn't just come out of the sky, right? She believes that because people around her reinforce that. If you go on her Instagram, well, she got about 800,000 followers, bunch of dudes thirsting it up. And I would gather that most of the men that she's encountered in her life was ready to trick it up on her. So it's not like she's just delusional about it. And most of these women, although they may appear so, there's a reason for that. It's because men support that. It's because men tell them like, hey, look, I got you. And I bet you when Travis Kelce was with her, he was fronting everything. If he wasn't, then she wouldn't have felt entitled to it. This sense of entitlement doesn't come out of nowhere. If no men supported it, women couldn't think like that for very long. So, although, of course, her thoughts in itself they are egregious, Garrett, I got it. But the problem is, if men don't support it, we're not enabling her to be able to sustain that type of behavior. So at some point,
Put an asterisk on that. I think it's the
Say again?
specific man you're talking about.
Well, it's enough whatever it is, we know not everybody's doing that, right? But at the same time, it's enough men doing it where it's absolutely a problem. It's enough men doing it to reinforce a frame of mind
But
that
are they though?
appears to be, yes,
Well, specifically
yes,
for her. If you think about
for
it,
her.
right?
Yeah, I would say for her. I would say for her.
I don't
You don't
remember her
think
being.
you don't think that dudes was just giving her a bunch of bread?
No, I definitely believe that she probably. I think a lot of women make money off of men. I mean, what makes her any different from, theoretically speaking, a prostitute or a sex worker or a stripper or someone that posts online or whatever? I do
She,
agree that men give her
I can
money,
tell you.
but what I'm saying is men really validating that because she's not married? There ain't no man out there literally taking care of her and they enter in a committed relationship. There's nobody who's giving her that. Nobody
So what?
offered to put a
So
ring on her
We
finger.
don't know that swing. Well, we know she
we
doesn't have a ring,
understand
but we
that,
don't
but
know the money part.
there is such a thing as a trophy wife, right?
Yeah, but she's
So
not even
we
being
can't
picked for
say
that.
that it never happens. We can't say it never happens. But
We
regardless of
can
So
what,
I'll speak
even if
specifically for her.
I got it. So let's talk
Yeah.
about her specifically. Even if we say she's not going to get married, and a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth for her right now, so she's probably going to have some trouble. It doesn't mean that that mindset is still not reinforced by men. That's for real. I'm sure it was reinforced. We see people like that all the time. And what makes her different than, say, Hooker that you referred to, Sweeney, is she doesn't necessarily have to produce half the time to get what it is that she wants. And people will do it just based on being around her.
Can I
Yeah, but
can
when
I
you
add this
say
part?
people,
I think can I add this one point? So I think okay, beautiful women exist every day, right? Beautiful women are taken care of every day. But for instance, this is Sweeney's point. You have a woman like Joey Chavez that has 3 baby daddies that are all millionaires, Future, Bow Wow, and the NFL player. She got on Instagram and social media this week talking about she has to save up for money for a house and that she's living with her mom because she lost her house in the fires. And everybody's like, "Wait, you're going to live with your mom and have to save up for a house and you have 3 baby daddies that are all millionaires?" Like, I don't make it make sense. So I think yes, she comes off and appeals as this beautiful woman that's been chosen by 3 very successful, wealthy men in different areas at 3 different times. And she's still not quote unquote a kept woman. She's still not a kept woman by the fact that she has that same mindset that Kelsey Travis ex-girlfriend. Like, it's not getting them anywhere. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't want anybody to believe that I think that this is a successful way to go. What I'm saying is that idea is supported by men, right? So I think that she's going to fail. Most women who behave like that are going to fall in her face
I
at
think
some
she's
point
failing right now.
and that's I agree.
I think she's been
I
failing.
agree.
I think we
my
gotta.
whole
I think we
my whole
gotta
thing
have
was my whole thing was not to just say, all right, she sucks. We know that. But I'm saying, why is this happening? Why are women thinking that this is cool to do? And that's my whole thing. I'm trying to get to the root of it, right? So if men don't support it at all, these types of women don't exist. And that's the direction that I want to go. Not necessarily, okay, she sucks. She's a bum. She's going to fail. I think we all know that. I think we're stating the obvious when we say that. But how can we stop it?